early 2012, my brother lost his dad due to driving under the influence. He was going over to the bar one night and he decided to take the back roads home to avoid running into cops. Well, that ended up being the last thing he should have done. He was going around an almost 90-degree turn, going obviously way too fast, and he then lost control and was ejected from the vehicle through the front windshield and, in result, died from a broken neck. My brother was 20 at this time, and he went month after month in a stage of depression. He also had 3 younger siblings, and they also lost a father that day. Can you imagine your sibling going through that and not being able to do anything about it to make them feel any better? Can you imagine going through that with your own mother or father? Can you imagine in 10 years or so your family and friends mourning over your death because you decided to drink and drive? This is why breathalyzers in vehicles could be beyond beneficial. Breathalyzers in vehicles are becoming a more common thing, but many people are against it. Not everyone drinks and they feel that putting a breathalyzer or ignition interlock device in their vehicle is infringing their rights. They feel they shouldn't be a part of having one installed. Also, who is to say that their friend isn't going to blow into the breathalyzer and then they just get behind the wheel? Those are 2 really good reasons to be against breathalyzers, but 2 compared to a multitude of good reasons for it is a great difference. Getting a breathalyzer or ignition interlock device in every vehicle is a bit of a long shot, people like to say. Many people do drink and drive, and so they look at it like there's no big deal when everybody else can do it if they think that they're okay. They also believe that they're not in the wrong for it. My parents have been guilty of it, and I asked almost every one of their friends if they feel that they're in the wrong, and they say no. They think that after hours of drinking that they're fine, and 3 of them even said that they feel that they're better drivers with alcohol in their system. Many people argue by saying, I do not drink, I shouldn't be a victim of this. There's no proof of if I even do drink. And they like to say that even if I do drink, who's to say that I would drive after? I believe people need to be more knowledge with the statistics of accidents caused by drinking and driving, and more need to be informed of the benefits of having a breathalyzer or an ignition interlock device installed into their vehicle. Breathalyzers in vehicles is not a long shot. Every state has some sort of ignition interlock device law. Some states make it mandatory, others may just have it as like for probation. Say you did get a DUI and you had to do community service, and then as probation they also have a breathalyzer installed in your vehicle, and for a few months you have to blow into that every time you get into your vehicle. In 1995, Iowa was among the first states who required ignition interlock devices for drivers under the influence offenders. Their law still requires offenders with blood alcohol concentration of 0.10 to get the ignition interlock device installed. So 0.10 is basically if you take 1 drink, that's going to be a limit. Like you're going to have some sort of alcohol in your blood. Since then, numerous states have jumped on board, but many are beginning to require ignition interlock devices for first-time offenders, currently in 21 states. Ignition interlock devices for any and all offenders. If you are someone who truly does not drink, then I can understand. But that's why it's typically for offenders. But think of the outcome if every vehicle does have the ignition interlock devices. Even though you don't drink, maybe your son or daughter is 21 and they do drink, and they decide to take your vehicle out. And then they're like, well, I'm not feeling like staying out here and I don't feel like getting a ride home, so I'm going to drive myself home. And then one of their friends wants to tag along. So then you're risking your life, and then you're putting somebody else's life at risk. And whenever you let your kid go out, you're not even thinking anything about them. That's why the ignition interlock device would be beneficial even if you aren't the one that is drinking. Drinking and driving is an issue that can be decreased by ignition interlock devices or breathalyzers getting installed in your vehicle. On average, 2 to 3 people will be involved in a drunk driving crash in their lifetime. This means that almost every one of us in this room will be victims of drunk driving accidents, or will be the one causing the accident from drinking and driving. Think about my story and put yourself in my brother's shoes. Think about the outcome of ignition interlock devices. If you haven't picked up on what I'm saying, I just want you all to think about it. Think about the outcome of drinking and driving, and also think about the outcome of putting breathalyzers in vehicles. do blow .01, go out, run a lap or something. Just do some kind of way to go use the restroom. I mean, anything's gonna make a difference. But I mean, if you have taken a drink, like you shouldn't even get in the car and test it.
Do you think, well, are those breathalyzers or lock systems, are they like custom to you? Because I do know that like height and weight makes a difference on.
For people that want to voluntarily get theirs involved, like installed into their car, yeah, they do put that all into play. But people that are like offenders of it, no, it's just any alcohol. Like,
Are there, you said there was laws in some states, are there any laws in Indiana regarding that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything being installed, but I do believe there's one about like having to carry something around with you. And so, but I don't know how that would make sense because they can't tell every time you do get out of the car, but I'm not sure.
So do you think if somebody has got a DUI, do you think they should have to have them in their car like all the time?
I do. I for sure think so. And maybe if it's a first-time offender, like having a DUI, maybe just do the probation form of it, so it can be taken out. But if you have 2 or 3, for sure needs to be installed. John, did you have one? Colin?
I think in other countries, if you get caught drinking and driving, you get your license taken away for life. Do you think that should be like here?
I mean, I wouldn't say for life because there is a law that you do get it taken away for a certain amount of time. But maybe, like I said before, 2 or 3, then maybe yeah for lifetime.
So like say that you have like a .03, like you know, I'm a little, is that really gonna affect your driving like as much?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that it will, but you never know because like there's been times that, I mean, my mother has had a DUI before and she only blew .06 or something very low, and she honestly said that she felt fine. And my dad said that he knows he was drunk. He felt terrible, and he blew, and he didn't even blow anything. He blew .0. So it's just kind of